Marquand has stopped by me after the success on Merchant. We're going to get to the horse, but tell me from your perspective how that was in the middle of a thunderstorm.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Obviously, we've all had it where you get halfway around and sort of the heavens open, but not often do you get it before, during and after. Look, it's a shame for Goodwood. You know, we love sunshine when it's down here. It makes for a special week, and rain isn't really what we want. But look, that's England, and it's a great meeting all the same with some great racing. And to be fair, that probably served up a cracker to watch, just with the way the latter stages of the race played.
Tell me what happens as you go down to post. Does the clerk of the course ask you as jockeys, you know, are you happy with the conditions? Were you asked before that it was all okay to go ahead?
Yeah, exactly that. Ed was actually just walking around the top end, checking the last part of it, and look, we're very lucky in this country. If jockeys aren't happy, it's no go. So look, first of all, you have jockeys saying they're happy, then you have the clerk of the course saying they're happy, and then obviously stewards tick the final box. And look, the track's fine. It's just very, very wet. None of us, I guess, would have fancied sitting in a giant toaster down at the start while lightning's going. So the starters made the decision to just flag start it. And to be honest with you, like you know, we only had a small handful of us, mile-and-a-half horses. They've all got they're not little whippersnappers that are dying to jump and go a million mile an hour. They're all sensible. So it was the right call, and to be honest, made for a good fair race, which is the one thing we all want.
Yeah, you did go a sensible gallop. It was great. How did it suit Merchant, the whole setup of the race?
Yeah, to be honest, I was surprised how quick we went. I thought we might go a nice gallop, but I didn't expect us to go that quick the first half. It set up really nicely for him. He just hated the ground. Like it was, I think you know, on better ground he'd have got his toe down onto the track and showed the speed that he did at Ascot today. He just he was sort of left fumbling a little bit almost to try and get a bit of traction, but he was brave to go and run down what was a tough second and a horse that clearly enjoyed the ground. So I thought he did well to bridge the gap and go and get his head in front.
The Desert Hero was a similar ilk, wasn't he? Does he remind you of him? Does he feel a little bit better? What are your impressions of him at this stage? Is he getting better and better?
Yeah, obviously, you know, they've gone down the same route, but they're a very different type of horse. Desert Hero was one we were always, you know, probably always quite conscious that we had to keep a lid on him and make sure he got it all right and things like that. This guy's the absolute opposite. You know, he's got a fantastic mind. He's very chilled out, and to be honest, like, he probably won the race today. And the fact that he took all the prelims without a bother. So, look, I'm not saying any of that to downplay what Desert Hero did. He was a good horse in his own right, and went on and finished. You know, he was placed in a ledger. Tough to do. But yeah, very, very different horses. But that's the beauty of the game. You get two horses gone down exactly the same path, and yet, you know, they're complete opposite animals and complete opposite mindsets. So keeps us on our toes.
Yeah, it's exciting, especially, you know, we hope we're going to get the summer again and we get quicker conditions. The world seems to be his oyster. Do you feel like he's a horse that deserves a shot at St. Ledger?
Yeah, look, it'd be interesting to see what William thinks. He's not a slow horse that needs to go up to that trip. Equally, the ground is, if you struggle today, it is going to be the warrior going into a ledger. And you know, are you holding out for a race that is, I suppose, typically usually run on slower ground? Look, that's for William to decide, obviously, in the Highclere team. But if they wanted to crack at it, it wouldn't be a silly thing to do at all. It'd be a super fun thing to do. But there might be a better option lurking in there somewhere, and I'm sure William will find it.
I was really pleased that he could run today, because we've all been waiting for him. With the weather it is, with the ground as it is, if we get a lot more, which we are forecast, what do you think the ground's going to be like?
If we get a lot more, to be honest, we're probably sort of verging on the edge of being in a bit of trouble. As it is at the moment, it's fine. It's just very wet and not very fun. But yeah, you wouldn't want an awful lot more on it, just because it's come in such a sort of short time as well. It's just really filled up the track, and you know, it's not so much the amount of water that comes, it's how loose the track gets. And yeah, it'd be a shame if we get a lot more, but it looks, touch wood, like we're easing off a touch, I hope.
Okay, well, Tom, thank you for your insight. Very, very well done, and let's fingers crossed the rest.
Thanks, Jeff.